Do you think you had ever imagined a world where there would be 10 billion digital transactions in India, and the kind of traffic you're getting from unknown towns like Khanna? We talked about Khanna, Punjab, right? Did that ever cross your mind कि ऐसा कभी होगा? 7 साल में ऐसा हो जाएगा कभी?
The look on my face is because I want to give a two-part answer to this again. A, of course, no. B, though, from 2017 to 18 to 19, I somehow thought in the run-up to getting to the point at where we are today, that a large part of change would have completely moved to online. That is still not the story today. And I think that is not going to be the story even 5 years out from now. I still realize that if I want to build a great business, if I want to build a great, and I'm particularly saying, I'm not using the words tech company and not saying product. If I want to build a great service, if I want to build a great brand, if I want to build a great company, I will have to think more about where is the user and what am I kind of really giving them versus what medium am I giving them to. And
you're effectively saying omni-channel plays.
Omni-channel bol raha hu, and I was very surprised. For example, Binny Bansal came in the last round, right? He put in a few $1 million, and when we were sitting for the first time in Singapore, and he said that Akshay, future offline hai mostly. मैंने कहा it's so ironical coming from you. You gave India Flipkart.
After making billions on Flipkart, you're saying future offline.
मैंने कहा आपका सारा पैसा online e-commerce से आया है, जो आप मुझे दे रहे हो. आप बोल रहे हो offline है दुनिया. But it's so true, right? And I was giving you the Surat example just before this started off, and I think depends for different categories. So we realized that of course it's growing. So when you know about a forex business,
correct,
in some sense you are our first financial services investor who invested in the business because there was a financial services component to it. And I remember when you invested, we were doing 1.5 crores a month in forex. Last month we did about 117 crores a month in forex. So we've almost gotten to 100x since you first invested in the forex business.
And I think you've not even scratched the service at this point.
और उस वक्त पे ना लोग ट्रस्ट नहीं करते थे हमारी फॉरेक्स सर्विस को. लोग बोलते थे कि ठीक है तुम्हारे थ्रू ना जो सबसे छोटी वाली पेमेंट है ना वो भेजूंगा, वहाँ पे बच्चे को कुछ खाना खाने के लिए भेज दिया. फिर धीरे धीरे लोगों ने ट्रस्ट करके बोला कि जो डिपॉजिट होता है 2-3 लाख रुपए का जो यूनिवर्सिटी को देते हैं वो तुम्हारे थ्रू भेजूंगा. ग्रेजुअली दैट ट्रस्ट बिल्ट आउट एंड आल्सो बिकॉज द कोर सर्विस इन सम सेंस वी आर एम्बेडेड फाइनेंस.
करेक्ट.
एंड आई समहाउ फील दैट this is my toffee wrapping on it, that the best fintech will be the companies which are not called fintech.
Yeah, embedded finance is the future, to be honest, right? Yeah.
So today parents are sending their entire fee, like our average transaction volume in the last few months has been like an average user spending about 30-35 lakh rupees on a platform. They're trusting a company which is only like, and वहाँ पे leverage का भी logo छोटा ही होता है. In fact, Fly Finance पे leverage पे logo देखा है. And actually wallet t-shirt पहननी चाहिए थी मेरे को आज, but anyway.
I think like I said when we first interacted, I'm not investing in you for leverage. Leverage is a great business. I'm getting that business for free, right? What I'm really investing is in Fly Finance. Correct.
And no, you're right. So that trust improved a lot in the last few years, and kudos to the government, kudos to the growing Indian population, their adaptation to everything fintech, and kudos to I think lot of companies who are doing the hard work, who are doing the hundreds of millions of dollars of brand building to make everybody believe that digital transactions is real and it's safe and it's okay.
But and I think it's also would also be true that if we had not had internet penetration at the scale that we've had, right, or we would not have had something like a game changer like a GST, right, or Aadhaar, right, which has made even passport issuance so much easier.
Yep.
I think all of these sort of that India stack that is coming together, that has actually opened up avenues that would have otherwise taken maybe another 10 years to get there, right? You would have got to Khanna Punjab, but maybe in 2030.
No, of course. Look, those digital public infrastructure that is being built out and is still being built out. I was reading this paper about BIS, the international settlement that is happening right now, and like how India is adapting to it. And I think there's a lot of news about how everybody is adapting our fintech stack of sorts.
Correct, UPI.
I was with
Sharad Sharma
amazes
people. Yeah.
It's crazy. I think we're essentially, and I say this because in some sense at Leverage also we say that India is going to be the talent exporter to the world. The entire world needs talent right now, and I say this in the investor group that we have so often. And the answer is India. India is going to export talent. Be it in the US, be it in large parts of Europe, be it in Australia, Canada, anywhere else as well. And these people then will keep moving, and we need these global Indians to be able to winning at different points of time at different places for us to kind of really outshine as an economy. If we are kind of moving in a journey from a 3 trillion economy to a 5 trillion or 10 trillion, 15 trillion, वो सिर्फ manufacturing से नहीं होने वाला.
Correct.
वो सिर्फ software adaptation से नहीं होने वाला, वो export से होगा. और within export there is export of products, there is export of services. And export of services के अंदर the most important part is that how do you kind of have more global Indians win all across the world. So I think all of it goes together. So everything that you're saying, I'm kind of just taking the juice out of it and saying that it is very important for any and every business to think about how that India stack leads into our reputation internationally as well, and make use of that paradigm shift and build businesses which have that level of arc.
And I think when we add to that point, you know, like our biggest export eventually is probably going to be Indians itself.
Yep.
We're just going to keep exporting Indians because
that is India's biggest export, by the way. Export of services ke andar export of people is the biggest export. 37% CAGR.
Because all other economies are also aging much faster than us, right? And I think we're still below 30 at this point in terms of an average age. So effectively, you know, if you go to Japan, you know, they're now opening their borders for immigration, right? If you go to even China's aging much faster than the world, right? So effectively, you know, and this was at a recent event. Somebody said, you know, honestly, think 50 years down the line, so 75 years down the line, what if every working human being was an Indian? Because, you know, effectively in 50 years, there's going to be just so many Indians, right? Everywhere. I mean, not just the Prime Minister of UK or you know what was happening in the US. Now you've got a contender at least, right?
Strong contender.
Yeah, that could be from Indian origin. You know, there could be very much possibility that where are the farmers going to come from, right? If everybody gets older, where are you going to get the farmers from? And it could eventually be from India, because we're going to have the youngest population, and we'll keep exporting them. It's like an ARR that will keep getting back, recurring income from exporting Indians across the world. So I'll just give you some stats, and I don't know if you ever sat down and looked at this yourself, but you've got 438 crore raised across 6 funding rounds till date. Institutional investors, you've got Bloom, DSG, Tomorrow Capital, Avendus, Kaizen West, 9 Unicorns, Pivot, and Artha. There are a few more, but
Avendus नहीं है.
Avendus का नाम लिखा हुआ था, but anyways, maybe a mistype.
ले लेते हैं उनसे पैसे.
उनसे अब बात कर लो, उनका नाम तो traction दे ही रहा है, तो might as well. In terms of family offices, DSP, Mankind, Chona, NB Ventures, I'm sure I'm missing a few. And then you've got in CVCs, ETS, Showlight, which is the two firms that came in the last round. And in Angels, there's a long list, but I'm just talking about the names that have more than at least 10 investments. Alok Mittal, Ritesh Malik, Amrish Rao, Swati Desai, and so forth. By the way,
Binny, VSS, Kunal Shah.
Yeah, Binny would probably come again in your family office list. Yeah. But effectively 113 investors on the cap table. So it seems, Akshay, whatever you do, nothing is small about it.
I don't think that's a great thing, but at some point of time, I'm sure we need to cut out some secondary tranches. But yeah.